About corruption, the EFCC will easily come to mind, and there's this supposed feud that is going on between the EFCC and the DSS. Those arrests and the attempt to arrest the former DG of the DSS, do you think that that move was one in the right direction by the EFCC?
Yeah, well, you see, that move is kind of suspicious. Why? Because remember, it was the DSS that wrote this letter about Magu, and the Senate actually rely on those letters to pronounce him unfit for the office. Okay, their suspicion of retaliation will be there from the outset. And the EFCC, knowing that this is the SDG of DSS, he probably has armed officers surrounding him all the time. I mean, for the rest of his life, perhaps. And then, if it is true that the EFCC did not have a warrant to go and arrest or search this person, then it raises some question. I don't know whether they have, but the report said there was no warrant.
No, the EFCC said that they had a warrant of arrest.
But
It's if that the house where Itai Beong is living is a government house, and the EFCC feels very strongly that it has the jurisdiction, it is within the jurisdiction, and has the powers to make an arrest of an ex-national assets, as people call it, then should the stopping or derailment of that action by the over 30 DSS officers protecting his house, isn't that derailing the path to justice or even investigation?
No, it's not, and I explain it to you. Equity must come with clean hands. That's just normal. The fact that you live in a government house does not mean you don't have some privacy. That it doesn't mean you don't have some rights to be protected. What a warrant of arrest will do is, in getting one, is for a judge or a magistrate to look at all the issues and believe there is some scintilla of evidence of crime, or what they call probable cause for you to go and arrest or invade someone's privacy. The man living in a government house or being surrounded by government officials doesn't mean that he does not have some rights or some privacy. So the right part will have been for the EFCC to obtain a warrant. Now, when you get there with a warrant, then it will be, of course, wrong for the DSS official now to stop the EFCC from executing a warrant. But as we know now, and I'm saying it, I don't know whether it's true or not, but that's what we heard, that there was no warrant. If there was no warrant, go get a warrant and then go execute it and then go and arrest this person. Without that, it almost seems provocative, because you know this person has armed officers around him. If you show up without a warrant, you are carrying guns, they are carrying guns, people start shooting at each other. It's that chaos that we are creating in the country in fighting corruption. You don't fight corruption by creating chaos.
But shouldn't shouldn't he have step aside because he's being investigated? Because everyone would think that perhaps that's the international. That's the international. Yes, the DSS boss.
Yeah,
he would have step aside because he's being investigated. Don't you think that's the right thing to have been done?
Well, for you to be, he didn't put himself there, did he? I mean, when is it that you heard of a Nigerian official in a powerful position stepping aside voluntarily? If the presidency thinks he's being investigated and that will be some conflict, he can ask him to step aside. But again, even if you are under investigation, you still have rights to be protected. I mean, being investigated does not mean you are guilty of any crime yet. It's just suspicions, probable cause, and so on and so forth that we have to investigate. That does not mean you have your rights must be violated at will. So if the EFCC knows this person is under investigation, let them go the right path. I mean, the rule of law dictates that, because we don't want chaos in the country. We don't have people shooting at each other on the street because this is DSS and this is EFCC. Go straight to court. It's easy. EFCC obtains warrants every day, I mean, in the hundreds. So just go get one, go serve it now. People like me will now side with the EFCC and say, hey, this DSS person is violating the law if he's not allowing a warrant to be executed.
That's a good place to drop it. I want to thank you so much indeed. Muyiwa Sobo is a legal practitioner, for talking to us in this very important discussion. Sunrise Daily will be back after this moment. Join us again.